And welcome back to our semi-final round of our tournament, our first tournament of the 2026 season at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. I am Dennis Geisler. Joining me, our stream quarterfinalist, Arnie Wolf.
Hello! How's it going, everyone watching at home? I hope you're having a wonderful day. We've been having an amazing day here. We're going to see Cole and Miguel face. We're going to see Cole on the left with that Dragonite, Golden Go, Sneasler, Incineroar, Whimsicott, and Garchomp. Miguel on the right with Whimsicott, Incineroar, Pelipper, Basculegion Male, Archaludon, and Amoonguss.
Yeah, both teams running the Whimsicott and the no, not the Sneasler. Both of them running the Whimsicott and the Archaludon. Not the Archaludon. I cannot. I've been saying so many names all day, man.
This is the 8th round. I don't blame you.
The Incineroar, but they're both very different teams and both very different Pokemon in this case.
Yeah.
Cole is running very similar to that Giovanni Costa Toronto team with all the choice items, the choice band Dragonite, the choice Specs Golden Go. Miguel with that Arch Basculegion Pelipper Rain stuff. I'm curious how Cole's team kind of matches into that, because I'm always fascinated by the more weatherless teams in this metagame, especially very offensive ones, how they match up into the weather teams.
It's interesting because when you take a look at the Archaludon matchup, which we're not going to see, we're going to see Golden Go and Sneasler lead on Cole's side, Miguel leading with Pelipper and Basculegion. But Sneasler here and Golden, these are your two Archaludon counters because you have Dragonite. It is choice banded, but you're going to get defense boost on Arch. So you've got to really preserve these two. And with Basculegion in the front here, outspeeding everything on the field, and Sneasler being Y-Herb instead of Focus Sash, it does mean that you are free to Wave Crash if you're Miguel. And I think if you're Cole here, this would not be a bad choice to swap on into that Dragonite and kind of lock that Basculegion into a Wave Crash that can't do too much damage back.
Yeah, and I think at this point, you either have to switch out the Sneasler or try to protect the Sneasler. That's interesting on the switch out on the Golden Go. I guess just not really seeing any damage right now.
Whimsicott's not bad. It would be bad if it's a double target into that slot, but it should survive this Wave Crash, I'd imagine. No, it doesn't. It does not.
Banded Wave Crash in Rain. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage.
I see the play that Cole was going for. Try and get your Tailwind going so Sneasler can be faster, but Dire Claw connects without an ability, and Hurricane should be able here to knock out that Sneasler, and we are back to just Dragonite and Golden Go in the back for Cole.
Yeah, this might be a quick one. this might be a quick game one at the very least. Because I don't really know what Cole's going to do about this right now. Because I think he can do a pretty similar play. Especially knowing both these Pokemon are choiced, you can pretty much just go for the Wave Crash and the Hurricane, and worst case scenario, you don't pick up KOs, but you still lock in both of these Pokemon and weaken them quite a bit.
Yeah, this is definitely not a good position for Cole right now, especially because his Golden Go is choice Specs, so no way to really dodge that Wave Crash, no Terra Water or Terra Dragon. There is Protect, but then you're trapped with a Golden Go that has just Protect.
I like the Trick Protect. You can Trick, I guess, but I don't really know what you want to get. I mean, I think you probably just need to attack right now, and I like this as the play.
I think, what we see is the only way.
I was going to say, I don't think there's really any way through this, because I'm pretty sure that Wave Crash just picks up. Yeah, it does. A lot of people have been messing around with some of the other Basculegions. Oh, maybe I just want to be like Life Orb or something so I can switch moves. Nah, just go Band.
Band is wildly good.
It does crazy damage.
Well, you do see Confusion on Dragonite. It also is not multi-skill, it's Inner Focus because this is a choice band set, and so Confusion gonna go ahead and attack itself.
And that's a lot of damage because it hit itself on like a Outrage with Adamant probably, and Cole's gotta gotta forfeit that one, and that was a quick game one.
That was a very quick game one.
I mean, I think Cole is gonna say, okay, I'm gonna need something to deal with that whole Basculegion business. And I was saying before, like, oh yeah, you do. Like, when you're playing against these kinds of Rain teams, you do need to have answers for the options, the offensive options that are augmented by Rain. The Basculegion, which becomes way faster and harder hitting in Rain. The Archaludon, who is able to Electro Shot in Rain. And Cole didn't really have an answer for that in game number one. And I think it's going to be really important to bring that Whimsicott, because the Prankster is going to be pretty important.
Yeah, you got to lead with Whimsicott here, without a doubt. Otherwise, you just cannot auto-lose. Instant is a choice. I think it's not bad because it is Terra Grass. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it, but I like this idea of leading Garchomp. You've got quite a few options. You have Stomping Tantrum, you have Earthquake, and you have Dragon Claw. You do got to watch out for that attack coming from that Pelipper slot, possibly the Archaludon slot. However, leading with Garchomp does at least allow you to maybe go for an Earthquake. It may be Stomping Tantrum. Obviously, like I said, Pelipper is going to be an issue, but if you can at least be faster than the Basculegion, that's big.
Yeah, and the really important thing is that Garchomp is almost always going to outspeed the Basculegion after a Tailwind.
Yes. The scary part, though, is that Pelipper, it does not have her Tailwind. Never mind, it's not scary at all.
Just get Wide Guard. It does have Wide Guard, so you do have to be a little worried about Earthquake, but you don't have to worry about the Tailwind the other direction, so you can just try to focus down the Basculegion, especially knowing that it's banded. And yeah, it's going to be that same lead for Miguel. We do see the switch up for Cole.
Yes, the question now becomes, do you go Earthquake expecting a swap out, or do you go for just the flat-out Dragon Claw into the Basculegion slot? Obviously, have to tail on a Whimsicott, no doubt there, and Pelipper kind of gets a free Hurricane on the Whimsicott slot, but I think it's a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
Now you gotta kind of debate. I wouldn't be surprised here, honestly, if you see this Garchomp just Terra Ground Stomping Tantrum, because I don't think Basculegion's going to be able to get knocked out by just a pure Stomping Tantrum, even with Lightning.
No switches is really important here. We'll see if the Dragon Claw does KO. Yeah, it doesn't KO. It doesn't come particularly close. I would have liked to see just the genuinely, I would have liked to see the Terra Ground Earthquake there. But
I feel like that's probably or Stomping. It's kind of, does the same amount of damage.
Yeah, and I like the flip turn there for the Basculegion, able to just get it out of there, let Miguel pivot around a little bit. I like the Whimsicott.
Very good.
It's really hard for Garchomp to hit that Whimsicott.
Yeah, Garchomp does not have... Garchomp somehow takes that, but by an inch. This isn't terrible here. I think you gotta go for the Moonblast on the Whimsicott because you have to. And then you gotta attack on Pelipper. But the thing with Whimsicott now is, and this is what is really difficult if you're Cole, that Basculegion is coming back out. Now the good news is you can knock it out. It's in the orange, and Wave Crash, if it will attack the Sneasler or Golden, will one-hit KO. But it also means that you're in a very tricky position.
Yeah, it's going to be the Arch Switch in here, which I don't mind, because you can feel pretty confident it's not an Earthquake here from Garchomp. There is the Moonblast that you mentioned. Ooh, into the Arch. Ooh, and it got a crit.
That is decent.
Does activate the Stamina. We'll see if Garchomp, it is the Dragon Claw into that slot. Not enough damage to KO, but it is good damage. Does mean Garchomp will drop to the Life Orb Recoil, but that's not a terrible thing because now you can bring out your own IDK Sneasler or Golden Go.
I think you gotta go for Sneasler. This is actually your win condition here is with Sneasler because so Whimsicott had just clicked Tailwind. You need to Encore the Whimsicott. Hope you're faster.
Yeah.
And they cannot. If you are Cole, you have to close combat this turn, because if you do, you're now faster than Basculegion.
Yes.
And that is huge, because Dire Claw, yeah, it doesn't do a ton. It's a ghost type. It's going to be resisted the poison move there. But you can para, you can sleep, and you can poison, and all of those are your win conditions for Golden Go to come in and Shadow Ball its way to victory.
At the same time, if you are Miguel, do you just switch out Arch into Basculegion?
That would definitely be wise.
And that would block the close combat, and in that case, does Sneasler want to do something like a Dire Claw into the Whimsicott, just pick up a KO, get through things, although if you Encore the Whimsicott, it's not doing anything.
Alternatively, what you could do is just go for the close combat on Whimsicott, guarantee it.
Yeah, or even Dire Claw the Archaludon.
So, just for hoping it's a switch.
Yeah, either hoping it's a Terra or a switch, because either way, it's still valuable.
This is going to come down to reads.
It's going to be a weird one. Okay.
No switches.
No switch. That's good for Cole.
There is one thing which I don't really like, though, with Cole. Cole clicked Moonblast into the Whimsicott. I will say that does mean... Oh, never mind. Take it back. There's no... Oh, there's Encore. Yeah, so you can get Encore. Oh, I take it back. I thought he clicked Moonblast.
No, he definitely clicked the Encore.
Well, this was the right play for sure, then.
And no Terra out of the Archaludon. I was wondering if the Archaludon would Terrascalize to try to take this close combat at +2, but certainly won't now.
Yeah. I really do like the position now for Miguel. It is, or, for Cole. It's still tricky with Miguel because you have the Basket Legion, which does a lot of damage. It does have Aqua Jet. I don't think Aqua Jet's going to be able to KO, though, which is good, which means the Sneasler's going to outspeed. It also means that Whimsicott could outspeed. It depends on how fast it is. It looks relatively fast on paper, but we will see.
Yeah, I mean, the big problem is that Miguel's Whimsicott is going to have to switch out and switch back in if it wants to get anything done. A Pelipper here, which is interesting.
I kind of like that, though, because now, again, there's more mind games. Do you go for the Protect and double up into Pelipper, knowing that the left slot's going to knock, or the Basket Legion is going to come out in? But the Tailwind does expire this turn, so now your question is, you bring in your Basket Legion. I still think you double into Pelipper here. There's no downside to it, because Whimsicott can't do anything. And I think you just go for the Dire Claw, and you go for the Moonblast, and if Pelipper doesn't, you know, pick up a KO, it's fine, because you're going to have Tailwind opportunity again if you're Cole. And if as well, you have Protect on both of your Pokemon if you're Cole, so you can stall out the rain.
Yeah, and even with the Basket Legion switch in here, I think the big issue is that you needed to be able to get Rain back up later, and now you can't. And I think Rain is about to expire also.
Yeah, I believe it goes out on the next turn, if I'm not mistaken.
And there are still Protects available for Cole. Yeah. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to Protect in front of Whimsicott, but regardless, you're still faster right now than the Basket Legion. You lose the Tailwind here. And there's the Whimsicott.
The hard part is... Yeah, here's the hard part, and it is Pokemon. Whimsicott speed ties. Because if you do dual Protect, you now have to Encore the opposing Whimsicott. Unless it clicks Encore right now, that would be very smart if you're Miguel. I would go for that, because I think that is the surefire way to win. But then also your Basket Legion, you're going to have to first target the Whimsicott.
Yeah, here's the thing. If it's a double Protect for Cole, you get the... You just end up in a situation where it is the Whimsicott speed tie, but at the same time, the rain drops off. You have the opportunity to just hit it with Basculeader to...
Oh!
Ooh. That's not a KO.
Aqua Jet does not KO.
It probably needed to be a KO, because I think otherwise... Yeah, that's a Dire Claw KO on the Whimsicott.
And that is pretty much a game. At this point, Cole can just reset the Tailwind, go into Golden Go after Sneasler drops. Maybe Sneasler will KO.
Yeah.
And then just finish it off with a Shadow Ball. I believe it is Terra Grass Basket Legion. It's not really going to matter. But...
Yeah, Cole already reset the Tailwind, so it doesn't even really matter. The Aqua Jet does KO, but it's an interesting choice to Aqua Jet there. I don't know... Yeah. I don't know how you win, because there's still the Golden Go in the pack.
Yeah, the Golden...
There's still another Pokemon in the back that Miguel didn't see at any point.
And Cole turns this game around.
Yeah.
And picks up a win. So we're going to Game 3.
And again, it was a nice lead, but also it was good not leading with the Sneasler. That was the big thing. It's not just that the Garchomp did lead, but that the Sneasler did not lead. And the Whimsicott was in the front.
Completely agree.
So I think a similar lead is definitely a good idea here. It could theoretically be Whimsicott Dragonite.
I was thinking Whimsicott Dragonite as well, actually, because I think Outrage is just really good into anything on Miguel's side. However,
yeah,
you do have Whimsicott, but
it's great against everything else. And you can deal with the Whimsicott elsewise.
Yeah, you can click Ice Spinner onto it if you really want, but I feel like it's... Extreme Speed's an interesting case, too, but I don't think you're ever going to get to a position where the Basket Legion is going to Terra against this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Garchomp's still solid, but I do like the fact that there was the Terra Stellar on Sneasler for later in the game. So maybe you want to preserve the Terra. I also wouldn't be surprised if you just lead Whimsicott and Garchomp and maybe just try and get rid of it with a Stomping Tantrum, you know, but...
I think the same 4 is not a bad idea for Cole, especially because he won by so much in that last game. He didn't even show the Golden Go. Like, it was still available in the back in case all that didn't deal with anything.
Now, there is another sneaky play, which I like, which is you lead Whimsicott Golden Go. Yeah. Because Golden Go outspeeds an Adamant Basket Legion in Rain. And because there's no way to set up both Prankster Tailwind and Rain at the same time on Miguel's side, you just lead Golden Go, Shadow Ball it goes down, and now you have Sneasler and X Pokemon in the back.
Yeah, you still have whatever to win the game.
But we're going to see the Garchomp lead here. Instead, same 4, in the same order for Cole. Will Miguel go for the same 4? I think it's probably.
I think it's probably the same score. Like, I don't think there's any...
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there's any need to change some of this up. But yeah, I like this. I mean, the lead's still good for Miguel, and I wonder if he wants to potentially just wave crash the Whimsicott turn 1, because last time he flip turned.
I wouldn't.
Which left the Basculegion up, but if you can get the Whimsicott out of here, it really changes the shape of the game.
Straight up Terra. Could this be Grass? No, it is Terra Stellar on Pelipper.
Okay. Might be trying to Weather Ball the Garchomp for an early KO.
I assume that is the case, because I think Hurricane would absolutely KO the Whimsicott here, so no use in that.
Ooh. Is this a double protect for Cole?
I think it's a good player,
yeah. I'm going to read out Miguel's play with the double protect here.
And we were going to see that wave crash, and it did connect with the Whimsicott, yeah.
So it was basically everything that we said Miguel could do here. But now Cole gets to know that this happened. But the thing is, Cole is still being threatened with KOs in both these slots that aren't really switchable.
Yeah. I think here...
So you still need to do something about this.
I think Tailwind and going for a Dragon Claw into Basque is really not a bad play here, just because you do get your Tailwind up. You get rid of Basculegion most likely, or at least put it into
Basculegion will eventually drop, because it will probably drop to Wave Crash Recoil,
Yeah, I would imagine with how much it did last time, which was about 75%, and then you recoil from Whim...
It'll be close.
It'll be close. And at that point, your Golden Go is going to be able, unless it is not max speed, your Golden Go is going to be able to outspeed. I'm not a fan of sacrificing Golden Go here. I'm not a fan of sacrificing Golden Go. I think you need Golden in the back. Especially if you have Whimsicott, but...
Yeah. I mean, it might just be trying to save Whimsicott here, because something has to drop.
I mean, yeah. I get why Miguel's going for that.
But this is also... Well, and I guess it's not a huge concern, because you know the Basculegion... Oh, it goes for the Wave Crash into the Garchomp. It gets the Oko out of it. It's going to take a lot of recoil damage with the Rough Skin and the Wave Crash recoil, but that means that Cole doesn't get to do absolutely anything there, and Hurricane here is going to do a lot of damage into the Golden Go as well.
That was a really wild turn.
Yeah.
That's
actually not... That's not an insane amount of damage, but it's still pretty... It's not a great spot for Cole to be in, but the thing now is at least you get to Tailwind Make It Rain.
Yeah, you kind of have to
pick up Basculegion.
Actually, you know what? I like the idea of Shadow Balling into the Basculegion slot.
Yeah, and
maybe
rely really, really heavily now on Golden Go being speeded enough to outspeed the Basculegion, and we're not going to find out.
I'm guessing we are going to see a Weather Ball into the Golden Go slot after this. But yeah, that's going to at least do a decent amount onto Archaludon. I think we saw it do about 50% in the first or second game. And
Specs, it'll do a lot of damage.
Yeah, like, if you do target the Whimsicott here, if you're Miguel, that is a bit scary.
Wow.
Not quite 50, but still. That's decent still.
It was decent, but I don't know if that's enough damage to really get through this, because, yeah, you're going to get Weather Balled here. And that's a KO.
Yeah.
And now, what do you do? You've got to KO the Arch.
Well, I don't think...
But you also have to KO the Pelipper.
It's not a horrid slot if you're banking on Dire Claw. I think what you do here is you Dire Claw and Moonblast into Pelipper and then let Archaludon do whatever. I don't think it has enough power to one-hit KO Sneasler at this point. It can get rid of Whimsicott. I don't know. I think I've had Sneasler.
Shot's gonna do some dang damage. And remember, you also have Basculegion in the back with Aqua Jet. And Aqua Jet does a pretty good chunk to Sneasler.
Yeah, that is the key there, is the Aqua Jet.
So you need to make sure Sneasler doesn't take that much damage even as a part of this, which I don't know if there's a way to do that.
I don't think so. That's a smart play, actually. I like that. Encore into Weather Ball, make sure that Sneasler,
I think
survives.
Sneasler still drops to Weather Ball.
It might.
He takes a ton of damage.
It may very well might.
Yeah. You do get the close combat off, you do get to activate that Unburden with the White Herb. But do you take this? It could have been, it maybe, best case scenario, it's a Weather Ball. It was supposed to be a Hurricane into Whimsicott, and instead it's a Weather Ball into Whimsicott. And it was. Okay, that's good for Cole. That is, it's still a lot of damage, but it's at least something.
I mean, now it is good in the fact that Aqua Jet will not KO.
Yeah. Oh, that is not... a guy that we saw before. That is really bad for Cole.
Really...
I don't know what the play is here.
Honestly, oh my.
You just have to click Dire Claw a bunch of times. The thing is, you can't click Dire Claw on both these Pokemon right now.
No.
And you get hit by Weather Ball by one of them. And you can't KO either of them in one hit.
I think there's a decent play. You double protect because Pelipper obviously is going to not want to be in Weather Ball because the rain expires this next turn.
Yeah, the rain does expire.
And obviously Incineroar's going to fake out.
Yeah.
I think the best play is you just double protect here. Don't deal with anything, and then hope that there's no switch out. So then Weather Ball doesn't do a ton. You can go for your Stellar Terra, Close Combat onto the Incin, or Moonblast into the Incin as well. I think that's the play. But there was a switch out, so it was the smart play anyways. Yeah.
Still, I think there's something here.
I don't know. It's gonna be close. Do you see a double?
At the very least now,
yeah,
you've got the double protect. Now, at the very least, you don't have to be that scared of Incineroar KOing Sneasler. And so you can just go for a Dire Claw into the Basculegion here and pray.
Hope it's paralysis and hope that you just get like hit 700 times with paralysis.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you take out the Basculegion pretty quickly here.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
no
and that's a nice play there. But at the same time, it means that there's no damage coming out of that slot right now. And so the goal for Cole here is to KO the Basculegion, and then maybe you have a way out of this if you can Dire Claw Sleep the Pelipper.
Yep, that's about your strategy.
Because at minus one, you still do decent damage to the.
It's Pelipper. It's I believe
Basculegion with the, because right now you're trying to take out the Basculegion. It's got Aqua Jet in rain, doesn't KO the Sneasler. You get the Dire Claw.
Yeah.
And it sleeps.
Poison.
Ooh, it poisons. That's not bad, because it's damage. You need to KO the Basculegion right now. And that's damage. And Moonblast probably picks up.
It does.
Okay.
Okay. That's fine. That's doable. Is it great? No. Is it doable? Yes.
It's not totally undoable. Because Incineroar's back out now.
Yeah. You do have Stellar Terra Close Combat, which is -2.
It's -2.
But it's something. Obviously, you gotta double protect because of fake out. And
you
then
double protect this turn, and then you have to Dire Claw the Pelipper.
And then at that point, I think Flare Blitz just kind of knocks out Sneasler. I think you hope Miguel protects the Pelipper for whatever reason at random. Okay, hold on.
You have to read like a protect here with a Pelipper or something.
Here we are. Pelipper dies twice to Moonblast, goes down to Moonblast, X-Tex 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're banking on. And
you have to assume that Incineroar gets like sleeped or something.
You have to.
You have to Dire Claw here.
I think you have to hit the Incineroar here because maybe
you're not going to KO anyone. So
I don't think. I mean, -2, but plus Stellar Terra.
It has to crit, right?
Fishing for a crit.
Maybe it's Stellar Terra, but it probably has to crit.
I'd imagine it would have to crit.
I want to see something funny happen with Dire Claw. It would be really funny if Dire Claw somehow made a win condition here.
Actually, Dire Claw could happen. Yeah, maybe.
All right,
Dire Claw into Pelipper. Paralysis.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, we're waiting on this. There's the Moonblast.
Oh
it's
my goodness!
Doesn't KO. It does get the special attack drop. That probably doesn't matter.
Does
the knockoff?
Oh, it 5 HP survival.
It doesn't KO.
Oh, but the Hurricane hits.
Oh, but the Hurricane still hits.
What's wild is there was actually a very solid win condition.
There was a moment there where Cole could have won that.
In fact, Pelipper got paralyzed.
That knockoff was nowhere near enough damage.
Okay, there's the forfeit.
There's the forfeit.
Miguel moves on to the finals. Oh my goodness! What a match!
That was really something. That was a really, really crazy one. And yeah, it really did rely on just Dire Claw there at the end. And if it had gotten the sleep and the knockoff didn't KO, there was really a way through it.
There was a shot.
There really was a way through it.
I can't believe it, but yeah, there was a shot. Well played to both players.
That was really fun. That was really fun. After game one, I was like, okay, maybe this is going to be a snoozer. Great set. Great set.
I'm so glad I was behind the desk for that.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and Miguel and Arnie will be back for finals, and we will see who Miguel has to play against in just a moment.